Hello and welcome back, Overwatch fanatics. We are here and we are live. EGFC coming right at you. This is the Overwatch section here today because it's Thursday, LaFawn.
It is. It is. I'm always waking up in the morning and wondering what day it is because
Me too.
I don't know if the last 2 years have been interesting. You know,
Interesting. That's how you spawn or spin negatives into positives here, people. That's what we do.
That's
as
a unique.
casters.
I will say a little secret for our viewers at home. That's a Canadianism where interesting means very much the opposite.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's like the Southern bless your heart.
Yes,
Right.
exactly that.
Somebody's blessing your heart down here. They mean that they think you are a fool. RIT, DePaul University, coming onto this. Neither of these teams are fools. We just came off of an electrifying 5-map situation between the previously undefeated Marist College squad and the previously undefeated St. Peter's University squad. The unmobile object met the unstoppable force or whatever, and St. Peter's University actually did come out on top in a map 5 situation as well. So we're hoping for some more action like that. Let's kind of talk about how these teams got here, LaFawn.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about DePaul University first. I think for them, unfortunately, they're still hunting for that first win. Currently 0-4 as we're getting set here for week 4 as we're in week 5. And I mean, for them, they're still, as I said, you know, they've kind of struggled a little bit. 1-12 in map score. So, you know, things not looking up for them. So they're hunting. You know, at this point in time, coming out of the gate swinging is really the ideal situation. RIT, they're doing okay. 2-2, 6-6. So, you know, when it comes down to it, when they win 3-0. When they lose 0-3. We're hoping for a little bit better here as we're underway already here on Ilios.
They live life big, man. Live life big. They don't do nothing haphazardly, half-effortly. I don't know. RIT on the left side, DePaul University on the right. Looking at noob for right now, and a lot of attention down bottom is more than even a mischievous Mercy can do.
I love that name. There's a lot of food in this game, actually, as we see Salmon taking out Noob. And it's going to be walking forward here. Tangerine gets DMAC, so continuing the food play there. But it's going to be RIT taking the map early, and Earthshatter online already for Skyfoes. That is unbelievably quick here from RIT as they're just putting pressure. And DePaul University are forced to kind of reset here.
Yes, sir. We have not introduced them as to yet, so I'll go ahead and run through these. RIT on the left in the blue. Avis. It's Thigh Noon, not High Noon. It's Thigh Noon playing onto the Torbjorn. Skyfoes on the Rhine. Salmon over here on the Diva. Jay Jazzy, your soft support on the Lucio. And your tough main support, ZP Link, on the Baptiste.
Yeah, we were introduced to ZP Link halfway through the series last game, but coming through in... Oh, no, Noob! The target! No!
Okay. I have like kind of strayed away from saying this so far, but how is this Torbjorn working? Like generally, you look at a fair on the other side, look at these other options right here. You look at Samurai, not Samurai, and not Cobra Kai, but Samurai.
I told you there were some great names across the board here, and they continue to kind of gift. The one thing that's happening is actually that it's Thigh Noon. How do you say that with a straight face? Has set up the turret across the map, right? And is now playing with their squad. So to focus the turret, you have to kind of ignore everyone else. And in that sense, RIT has done a great job of just slowing things down. DePaul University, though, 5 ultimates online, nearly 6. Countdown 1, and Nuke gets
one of them. Yep, Noon rotating on around here. The fair really just not finding a whole lot of value for DePaul University thus far. Now, absolute run is allowed there from Avis, going for a little contest action, not really able to get much in there. Zeph kind of opting for the wrong time to do that.
I think I'm going to start keeping count of turret kills, final blows, and it's been 2 so far for It's Thigh Noon's creation, as it's time done, actually. And objective secured 100 to what looks like 8% here for DePaul University.
Yeah, hey, at least got a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Not going to be any goose eggs put up here for DePaul University on the map so far. Looking on to this next for Ilios, just to clarify, and in case you weren't watching our first map, our map count will be Ilios, Blizzard World, Volskaya, Dorado, and Lijiang. We flashed it a little bit here, but just to clarify, this will not change throughout this week. It is predetermined.
Yep, love to see it. And it means that we have an understanding of like how the games are kind of going to rotate out, what compositions we might expect to see, sort of the elements of gameplay we'd like to enjoy. Now, RIT going to switch up. They're going over to what looks to be a full dive here with the Tracer Sombra. So looking to play as aggressively as possible alongside the Moira. DePaul University eschewing the Pharah, going over to Cassidy in play. But it's Thigh Noon will be on the board first. Pack comes out onto the Mega Health Pack though.
On paper, I can tell you what a Reaper and a Cole Cassidy does to this competition. That's Samurai coming out with what can only be described as an unexpected result just based on team comps and slamming these two against each other on point, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Exactly
it is
impressed.
infrequent that it is so like clear cut one way, you know, composition wise.
Yeah, the way you kind of play the composition that RIT was playing against DePaul's is that you play it slower, try and surround and conquer a situation. We're actually going to see wholesale switches from RIT, well, mostly anyway, as Jay Jazzy, and Salmon will stay on their respective characters, but everyone else making switches. Double hit scan from a Rochester Institute of Technology here.
Yeah, New York team forced to come back a little bit on this one. Thigh Noon still getting dusted from up top and not really getting any way in edgewise, just like that. All shall fall, and this is just what happens, perhaps, with a little return to normalcy.
Yeah, I believe that was a single flashbang from Avis on the Cassidy over the shield of Zafe. And just, therefore, the damage throughput coming in from a squad. Focus fire. Now, Rochester Institute, RIT will have the Earth Shatter on a line here. I wonder if they're going to play for this flashbang combo. Try and deny Zafe the ability to kind of block the Shatter.
Yeah, we have seen single well-placed flashbangs decide team fights. I've lost track the amount of time just on stream. We've only gone through one matchup so far here, now onto the second. Salmon easily getting away from that one, almost taking a little bit of damage. Now, this is actually a question. Can the D.Va remake kill a D.Va on the other side?
Not
do it full 600?
No, it does 400, so or
Okay,
450, something like that. So
yeah.
it's not enough to demech you, but I mean it's still a lot of damage. That being said, Salmon more than up to the task of taking Tangerine out before the animation completes, and so renders the question moot to begin with. That being said, I mean Skyfoes actually uses the Earthshatter to open up that fight. Now well on their way to a second one, as RIT has made a switch. It's Thigh Noon going over to the Hanzo here.
Yeah, I feel like this name was picked on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say with a straight face. This is the first time we will see a Hanzo on point here on any map. Excuse me, we did not see a Hanzo in any way, shape, or form earlier.
That Shatter
Amplification
finds
Matrix
nothing.
out. That is noobs. Yes, so a couple whiffs in a couple different ways right there. Jazzy dropping this one down, getting around the D.Va for right now, whipping to the left side. Talk about keeping the dream alive there for Noob. Still alive as well. Blocked off self-destruct in the back. Skyfoes, he was a little bit left out on this. Decides to charge on in and gets involved.
And that will be it, actually, as this is going to be a staggered fight now for this final fight of the map. And DePaul University are now fighting just to get back to the objective. Samurai cannot be taken out here.
There's a teleport over the top. Has to get away from... Yeah, has to get in. Has to get the Death Blossom off. And has to get it in a place that is not near Tangerine or Tangerine getting demeched as it is. Just a slow burn right now. Reinhardt down. We saw Skyfoes with the Shatter themselves. And that is just methodical at this point. That's a cool cat. Okay. Noob came in and fanned once. I think even got a headshot off in the second. So that was a lot of quick damage onto Zafe. Not Zeph, but Zafe. You pointed that out. So there's a little bit of, flash in the pan. Came to hope. All for naught, though. No, map number 1 was 100-8. Map number 2 was 100-32, I believe.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a speed run on map number 1, and Skyfo is a big part of that, actually. As we look at the, oh my goodness, surfing behind them. Yeah, there was that flashbang. In the entirety of the team. What can you do? The answer
Not
is
too much. Yeah.
Yep, exactly it. Now we head to map number 2, which we know what it'll be. Blizzard World is our next stage of battle, as they say, and a lot to consider here for DePaul University in this regard, because it feels that RIT has the upper hand in terms of engagement timings, in terms of aggression, compositional choices too. So hoping for DePaul University to bring out a little bit of magic in Blizzard World as they try and equalize the series here.
Would love to see that. Would love to see that. Will it happen? That is the question that will be answered. We will return from a very short break here in just a minute. Get these teams a little bit of time to go up after this one, after we take a look at our maps. That's Blizzard World next, and we'll get Volskaya guaranteed to the 2CP. Dorado will be coming in after that, and then Lijiang will be our 5th map, our tiebreaker on the very last. If we get there, we got a lot of Overwatch to be played before that, LaFon.
We do indeed.
And we are back. A short break. It was indeed. Hey, LaFon, you up for some skee ball?
I mean, I can certainly try. I can't promise to be any good at it.
Fair enough.
I
SMB.
could probably beat. Wait. Who's S? Yeah, I was just gonna say who's SMB.
That's what I said. Because Diva's supposed to be like a professional, like a video gamer, right?
Yeah. Our producer tells us. Our producer tells us it was a Sombra who hacked the score. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Classic caster thing, right? We can hear a producer who says right there, it's Sombra. She hacked the score. We're both like, oh, like in unison.
Hey, listen, viewers. We're letting you in on a little secret here. Our producers talk to us. Tell us things.
We hear voices consistently.
We do. Yeah. Fun little.
I swear they exist. I swear they exist. RIT. Speaking of existing, choosing this one from up top, we have new back onto this Hanzo, which I'm about to find.
Yeah, this composition is really good. This is really interesting. This is going to be the Junkrat playing super aggressively, right? That's a lot of spam damage. But, I mean, if RIT plays this smart, they can actually just kind of avoid it and use their better range damage to kind of put pressure onto the front line of DePaul University. Again, Tracer will not be playing with the squad most of the time, so it is going to be 2 DPS, pardon me, versus the entirety of the squad of DePaul University.
Yeah, Obscure will be a fat target for that Tracer as well. Thigh Noon almost taking a nasty quick death initially as well. Immortality Field invested, Immortality Field down. Immortality Field comes out from ZP Link and keeps Thigh Noon alive for a little bit of damage on this one. Some point progress, but not going to be enough to that quintessential third. Still there. That's now going to be enough. DePaul University has forced their way into this one. First point and more after the first team kill bell for this matchup.
Yes. There is a little aside. Getting through here. Amos on RIT, I should say. Getting into the back line. As, you know, trying to take high ground control. I mean, the Junkrat has actually found value. In that sense, they're just putting pressure on this front line as Noob setting up, trying to find this Dragon Strike and prevent anyone from entering there. And there it is indeed.
I appreciate you saying that. I would have gotten this wrong this whole time. Yes, DePaul University is on the left, RIT on the right. We'll get that fixed, guys. Saban getting up close and personal. A lot of damage initially. That's a Rissa. Wow. It is not frequent that you see a Diva die that quickly. While the self-destruct is going off in the back, Skyfuzz takes advantage of this one all day. And RIT in the right and the red on a bit of a run right now. Obscure the last one. The only thing keeping this team away from that ever so satisfying team kill bell.
Yeah. Obscure doing a great job of just being a threat to the flanker, and RIT as a whole says, all right, we'll let you go. Now, I mean, Rochester continue. The thing here, too, right, is that there isn't a lot on the board, so there is a small window of opportunity for DePaul University, namely off the back of the Supercharger Gravitic Flux combo here. Try and play as aggressively with damage, and don't let RIT set up.
There's the amplification matrix. That's like kind of on a corner. It's only a couple different players that have an advantage on that one. But Noon finds damage and pairs with ZP Link on top of that one. Abyss failing as well. Obscure continuing to find a lot of progress on this Skyfoes. Tilts the head on that one and pays the price for it. Like literally staring down the barrel and still coming out with that. That is courageous. Is that the right word?
It's certainly. How does the saying go? Something along is the better part of foolhardiness. Courage is the better part of foolhardiness. Something like that. Famous line.
Like
I don't quite remember.
Discretion and valor. I thought.
Yeah, but that's not nearly as funny. So.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Fair enough. I thought you were gonna hit me with the Office quote.
I haven't watched The Office.
Getting back into game after rudeness and more coming out from LaFawn unnecessarily. Abyss has this Tracer Sticky Bomb to the left side. Kind of just going to be looking for a way and edge-wise. And once this Orisa comes off of this Fortify, that would be the ideal target. Noon kind of play. Noon playing the point right, but a perfect trade down bottom as Samurai finds that one. Immortality Field and the Gravitic Flux both used here. Tangerine will be looking for more kills and edgewise as DePaul University on the left in the blue will be fighting at this defense tooth and nail, but without all 6 players as of right now. Here comes a self-destruct that's landing pretty well. What a perfect experimental barrier put out for Tangerine. Playing the Sigma very well. That is a shatter for the ages though.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to bring the shield back up because it had been destroyed by the self-destruct. So it's a layered attack from RIT. And now, I mean, the Rip Tire is available. Amplification Matrix is available. Does not even need it as we get this first stage attack run done. And RIT setting a bit of a speed run there. Never letting up, never letting go. And they complete with 3 minutes, 47 seconds on a map notoriously difficult to take third point on.
Finishing with 347 as well, so 13 actual seconds less than what they, started out the entire game with. So what, this is like an overtime situation, right? Like they start with 30. That means they would have pushed this all the way. No contesting out. I do not read Scribble, unfortunately.
There's a lot to be said. I mean, about
I write Scribble. My handwriting is atrocious.
I was gonna say, like, no one can read my handwriting. I can read my handwriting. I would say doctors have nothing on me. Let's put it that way.
My handwriting is so bad that sometimes I can't read it. I'm not gonna lie. And both my parents are physicians, so perhaps there's cause. Was it cause effect?
Yeah, come by it honestly, as they say.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. Didn't have to work for it. Shout out to every teacher I've ever had who's had to been forced to read this chicken scratch.
I actually had I was forced to rewrite an essay once because my handwriting was so bad that they were like, I'm not grading this.
Tell me this happened like before 2010 without telling me this happened before 2010
right?
And everything started being written down like on, WordPad and whatnot. Just a cool character. Obviously the name's really only been the thing that's changed about this cowboy.
Yeah. DePaul University now playing the rush again. Oh no, the trap. Oh, this is tragic. Oh no.
Yes, it is. Hey, not if you're DePaul. Oh, excuse me. Not if you're Rochester Institute of Technology. Noob will be back with the rest of the squad here soon, but that is really just something you got to pay attention to, especially once you see these frags getting coming out.
It's a tough thing too, right? Because you're trying to be so quick on the rotation that you kind of have to like trust that it isn't there. So credit to It's Fine Noon for putting a really aggressive, setup and kind of putting pressure on DePaul to have to just walk in without checking their corners.
312, 311. Like you said, that action so far bit them, and Noobs gets taken out by ZP Link on the other side. My oh my. Perhaps just the dueling factor that a Zenyatta can actually have.
Yeah. Super strong character, right? Realistically has been one of the strongest characters in all of Overwatch since, got the zoom on the Transcendence
as well, right? Like,
yeah.
It's yeah.
Also, shout out to ZP Link for having a great skin.
Yeah, that's
on their character. Only in video games can you say that and not sound weird.
That's very, very true, my friend. I kind of realized like the words of what you were actually saying right there. Yeah, no, very, very true. It almost looks like that Megamind character from one of the Martian movies. I can't exactly remember. 2 minutes. 15 seconds. DePaul University has pushed from here before. They did not find a whole lot with it, but they did also not have at their disposal what they have right now, which is a mischievous amplification matrix.
Yeah.
We'll see if they opt to go through the choke point or kind of go through this more open area. Avis and Thai Noon have just been pouring in a lot of damage right here, but now starting to take some. Avis almost biting the bullet on that one after fanning the hammer down bottom. I was onto a Diva as well, so not going to be a whole lot taken out. Mischievous pops back up, gets the lunar boots engaged, and a single tick plus a little bit more comes in right here, and Avis wins the duel against Noob as well. Cole Cassidy, known for their dueling capabilities.
Yeah.
Rochester Institute Technology is coming out all day long. But this is not the situation where there's nothing gained. 57%, a little bit more than a tick of progress.
Yeah, no, certainly something to be said. It's not an ideal trade, but at least DePaul University has made progress. Now, this is the issue. 123 left on the clock. RIT has the win conditions established. Like, look at the 3 ultimate systems from left to right there. They'll probably use them here. DePaul University needs to just make sure those get used. Take it out, and then come back in with 30 seconds left on the clock. There's the Deadeye. Oh, good combo.
Okay, so the only real good thing here is that Rochester Technology did it quick, right?
Yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, that was probably the best way that fight could have gone. I'm going to get a quick replay here. You know, there's times where we're surprised by what happens on the screen just because how quickly it happens, and that's one of those. Look at that, Gravitic Flux, the Deadeye is used, and then the tire is instant right off the bat.
Yeah. Noob tried to get the High Noon going. Another quarter second might have gotten a pick, but at the end of the day, it would not have mattered, and RIT would be back to the full 6 regardless. Pushing at it from again, I think that DePaul University has had a little bit more success running through this route instead of up top, so I'm with this. RIT kind of taking theirs, maybe even like thinking that they're going to meet him there. Not 100% sure. Zeph tucks the head on that one, and it just pays forward. Unfortunately, sound barrier dropped. Obscure keeping the team alive for right now. Last little bit of that healing coming out there. Now Transcendence up. Gonna be super hard for anybody else to be felled after Avis does get taken out. Self-destruct lands, and that's Samurai coming out and looking for heads on this one. DePaul University has found their first point.
They are going to continue progress. Please stay on the objective. That would be the most heartbreaking way for this to end. In fact, they do, and so that will be some reprise. Got it. Just a moment of relief for DePaul University as they get the objective. Calm under pressure, though, and as they try and continue to take this higher ground, Tangerine just putting so much work in as the rest of the squad will try and get to back to support.
Yeah, a Tangerine just won that previous team fight for them 100%. Not just because of the pick off on the support in the back with the self-destruct, but eats and then soaking up of damage and able to stay and keep the dream alive. Love to see it. Smart idea again. DePaul University, I feel like even last map, this would be a DePaul University that even after losing their Diva might have fought tooth and nail at this one and just really refused to give anything up. That is not where they're at as of right now. They're keeping that one there, now looking to this choke point. Now this I don't agree with. They just allowed one of the biggest choke points in this entire map to just be purchased for free. Here comes the Gravitic Flux though. Noob's there. Noob's is not able to finish that one as the Gravitic Flux and the High Noon comes, the Avis High Noon comes out from the suicides. How intentionally confusing. Avis paying the Cole, Thigh Noon playing onto the Junkrat.
They will set to the high ground. Oh, this is mean. That Junkrat, you can't see that one on your high ground rotation, right? Unless you're specifically looking at that angle. So, DePaul University, though, that was a couple of resources taken away. They're going to take the low ground here. The Riptire is yet again available, but it's a spam that will get the first elimination tugboat. And, I mean, DePaul University fighting at a disadvantage before they even can get to the high ground here.
And this is a split push again. Jay Jazzy will pull this amplification matrix soon, probably. Mischievous will not be far after. But just on which side will this be put and to which side do they dedicate their attention? Because that's a split push right now from DePaul. Nice trigger right there. Little spam damage down the bottom. Tangerine, the other side of this attention, taken out of mech and now just dusted. Both Baps taken out of this one as Zeph falls to their counterpart. Thigh Noon just goes through a flanking Junkrat.
And we get the team kill notification as that time is expiring.
A lot of ultimates on board as well.
No one can even get to the point. There's no fly for Diva,
so.
2 seconds.
Okay.
Well, they get there, but at the cost of everything.
What profiteth a man to gain the world yet lose his own soul? I don't know. That's like thematical right there. I was just being dramatic. DePaul University trying. Not going to be much they have garnered right now. The Tangerine will be the only player really left on this one as Zeph is taken out. That is RIT also finishing now with a couple different players on kill streaks as well. RIT really just rolling right now. That said, DePaul University did not put up the goose egg in this one. They did in the Lijiang Tower map. But they put up a point right here, and that's kind of what they can take into this map number 3.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this is sort of business as usual for RIT, right? When they're winning in style. When they're losing big, right? So this seems to be more of their modus operandi than anything else, right? As we said, they're 6-6 with 2-2 in the 6-6 in maps, 2-2 in score. So 2 wins, 2 losses, and that obviously means they either 3-0'd or get 0-3'd. And it seems like they're well on their way here for the 3-0 as they get set to undertake Assault in our next map.
It's Volskaya coming on up here. Now, what we've seen so far, only one match to really talk about in that one, in the previous year, of course, but that has not been like a quick and speedy affair. It has gone down to extra time. And that was both teams previously. That was, St. Peter's and Marist. They took that Volskaya to those extra rounds as well. Now, where they got was a little bit of a different story, but that's where RIT and DePaul University will find themselves right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see kind of how this shapes up, right? Because that sounds incredibly wishy-washy. What I mean by that is DePaul University has shown moments of life in this series, and I want to see more of that. It kind of sounds harsh when I put it that way, but in the sense that they have I think that the quintessential point I'm trying to make here is in that final fight in overtime on the first point, right? When they kind of had to commit everything. They rotated as a team and they were quick on the execute and then recognized their win condition. They outweighted the Transcendence. And yes, despite the fact that they lost their main tank early, they were still able to recover off the back of a great self-destruct. I think here for Volskaya Industries, which is a much more technical map, as all Assault maps are, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that DePaul University here in map number 3. And if they do, then perhaps they'll be able to force that second objective, which I think is going to be endlessly important for them.
Yeah, kind of getting to those extra rounds would be what DePaul University really be looking at. Obviously composition-based, like getting on there, but yeah, taking this one now. This is map point. This is match point. Well, I guess not map point because there's going to be two an assault and defense played. Regardless, DePaul University loses this, they lose this 3-0. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly so. A bit of a different look here, though. As I believe this is the first. This is the first time we've seen this dive composition come in from DePaul University. Certainly the first time we've seen a Genji.
Mischief is mostly playing onto the. That was Mischievous playing on the Mercy earlier, right? And Obscure playing onto the Zenyatta.
Yes. So continuing the similar roles, right? You obviously tend to have your main support play the Brig, and then have the flex support play the Ana. Archaic terms from a
Evolving
time long
terms,
gone.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Calling it like you are correct, but like just what I guess that was born traditionally of like how much healing output. I guess that's really was like the base look originally. But hey, we've enough about the past. Let's get into the present.
Keep an eye on the corner here, by the way, because Noob is sort of sitting in the background. And yeah, there it is. The one clip comes in onto its thigh noon, not aware at all. Ooh, big double hit from ZP-Link, though.
ZP-Link still has that grenade as well, so gets low, and that's going to be enough. Yeah, the shot, and then nade. Not even enough air to sleep! ZP-Link just dealing with DPS as their own right. I love to see this. Oh my god. Comboing with Jay Jazzy, that's what? So, I mean, they did everything they needed to right there. They didn't need to get all the damage by themselves afterwards. Jeez, Ariz.
The supporters just told the DPS, go take a lap. We got this.
Yeah, right. Think about your mistakes right now. Oh yeah. Obscure, unfortunately, forced out into the left side. Salmon all over this point right now. Yeah, this double bubble composition here for Rochester Inst Technology is absolutely humming.
Nice bubble at the area end, speaking of, as it denies the pulse bomb in on what was certainly about to be an elimination. And I have to say, RIT support's doing a great job just to help open up that objective.
It's support all the way around as well, like you said, with Salmon on the bubble there towards that end. Abyss with the attack visor up here soon. Obscure will have that nano boost to counter on the other side, depending on who they will choose. Here's Skyfoes, or no, excuse me, there's Zeph on the other side, does have that primal, and here it goes. Damage increase for right now. Stunned in the middle and gets out of damage. The Skyfoes falls on the other side. Zeph continuing on the primal for a little bit right now, and kind of posturing her up right there.
Yeah, with the fact that Skyfoes goes down without being able to get the nano boost or the primal rage, then you have RIT being forced to retreat. So credit to Tangerine for making that big pick off, who has been a difference maker for this squad, right? I think one of the most standout players for DePaul University has been Tangerine to this point, and continue. That being said, look at those check marks on RIT's side of the board. All 6 online.
All glowing Skyfoes, primal rage first. Here comes the grab as well. Tangerine going to be only one in the middle of that one, and DePaul University falls in wholehearted fashion. The self-destruct from Tangerine, the only one going to be taking a kill right here. Now Zeph will be rolling on back here in just a little bit. Brig trying to force him out, does for the time being. You can't get to it? Wow, what? Yeah, just the CC abilities of your Brigs, man.
Shield bash, whip shot, perfectly placed. And Jazzy just makes sure that DePaul University, the greatest tragedy in Overwatch is when you lose a fight and you have some fight-winning resources in the back pocket. This is just nice. This is just nice, though.
And it's kind of unfortunate as well. There's kind of 2 mistakes committed here between Noob and Samurai. Like, if Samurai had gotten there, I'll call it 1 second earlier, LaFawn. Maybe a second and a half, but I'll call it 1 second. This is ZP Link done, and J Jazzy coming into what is almost certainly a lost team fight against 2 supports. You only have 1 shield bash. You only have 1 whip for the time it would take them to just absolutely tear you apart. That team fight would have gone differently. As it is, that is not the timeline we are living in as of right now.
No, sir. That is going to mean that RIT heads to the defense now, and this is a very interesting look, as we're seeing the Echo, not a surprise. I think the Echo can find value, especially here on this map where you can play a vertical style. I think what's more a surprise is the tank line. We have a Sigma and a Roadhog in play, as Salmon makes that character's debut.
Kind of a hard pick comp, right? They'll be kind of playing this one off the back of whether or not Skyfoes can get initial damage and then Salmon can find the hook. This is kind of a conditional composition, right?
Yeah, my only
this is
concern
like a
about
whole
this,
hard, like a whole full hold look when it's just not necessary yet. Sorry, go on.
right? I would say my only concern is that you have 2 characters that both benefit from a pocket, and neither one of them is going to get it. The Ashe, exactly that, right? I mean, you kind of want the Mercy there to give the support on that play.
Yeah, and with no like true pocket outside the ZP Link right there, that's going to be a methodical first point possibly coming in. Zeph finding a little bit of issue getting under that one. Big hitbox on the monkey. And provide a little bit of difficulty right there. RIT with a super split composition, and in the thick of things, the supports just simply cannot get to Thigh Noon. DePaul University might win this team fight simply off of playing a lot more coordinated. A Baby Diva down, but this fair is just not getting enough, and as I say that, J Jazzy failed in the back. DePaul University still finding picks. There's the there's the force out hook as well, and Samurai comes out on top of this one.
I mean, this is kind of why this is going to be DePaul University taking this objective, actually.
Yeah.
Unless there's some miracle pickoff here from Abyss, I do not see a world in which RIT comes back into this. That being said, DePaul University trying to chase some of these eliminations rather than focusing on the objective early. This is the thing, right? If you're running a double pocket-based composition, and you're not running a pocketed character, like a character to pocket, then you're kind of just putting yourself in a position where you just lose fights, right? Like DePaul University are running the double pocket comp, but they're actually making sure to give resources to their aerial characters, and that's giving them a lot more value, especially as we saw with the damage throughput that a direct rocket can have.
Yeah, and also with Jazzy, just like, I mean, if there's no character's heal, she can't start her initial healing from getting damage and getting these whip shots and whatnot. Noob now looking quite dangerous up top in the sky. A nasty purple as well, turning it to the back. Samurai takes 2, Noob takes 1. Skyfoes, the other tank. We're looking at to get back into this one. ZP Link with the nano boost out early. Skyfoes on point, so here comes the contest just outside of second tick. Samurai whipping the focusing in more onto this one. J Jazzy felled by a Primal Rage in the back, knocked off to the sides. Mischievous finds a pick of their own as well. Valkyrie coming in, a nasty purple. Salmon right here going to be trying to clear points. Self-destruct taking out. Tangerine keeping this one alive. This is an offensive push that is not dead quite yet. Abyss to the side, and DePaul University takes Volskaya with more time.
Yeah. As the clock ticks down to 2 minutes as the lowest amount, you can see 4:22 is going to turn to 2, which means that was 4 minutes 29 seconds on the clock to finish the capture point out for DePaul University. And what a 180 from the previous part of the series here for DePaul University, as that was dominant on the offensive performance.
Exactly what the doctor ordered here for DePaul. Love to see it. Tangerine really coming through, mostly playing the Diva. Actually, I believe entirely playing the Diva on this map, at least so far, and just finding value all day long.
Yeah, I think Tangerine has been quietly DePaul's best player, and even with the DPS players of Samurai and Noob stepping up in a big way here on this map, Tangerine has really been the quiet throughput of this series, or even on Volskaya. So credit to the off-tank player for sure.
I can 100% agree with that. Fun. Classic. Well, I mean, this is a little bit more split composition as well, right? You have super divey tanks, but Mischievous is gonna be paying attention up top. I guess you have and I guess they're just really happy with the Samurai Echo. I'm not against that. I'm not against that actually. After I think about it, I'm not against that whatsoever. Samurai found a lot of value on this. Not that they didn't find value on other DPS characters, but don't fix it if it isn't broken. Straight up.
Exactly so. I think this is the tank's not going to be really they're not going to dive super aggressively. At least they shouldn't. It's more about putting pressure and then using their abilities to escape rather than engage.
That makes sense.
And we see that
on
right
the defensive side. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Fun.
Immortality out early.
Very early, and Zeph jumps away with what must have been single-digit health because a long-range Reaper shot actually ended them on the backside. RIT rotating in now after a couple losses from the DePaul University side. Samurai Dunn will be back here soon. Zeph deleted as well. And that's just kind of rough, right? Looking at a Cole Reaper composition going up against these two tanks, no shields, no nothing. That's just, again, kind of more methodical. Like, these are like super hard counter picks for the Reaper and the Cole Cassidy.
Yeah, we're gonna see the switch come in as Zafe goes over to the hello.
Okay.
As we see Zafe go over to the Wrecking Ball here, but this is gonna be the point taken pretty quickly. And now a minute half left as RIT head to point B as they try and close it out. They don't have nearly the resources they had the last time they approached point B. Just to the Amplification Matrix online.
Abyss High Noon would have been really nice right now. Like, not onto this ball right now necessarily, but just like in general. As it was, they pulled it in the end of last team fight, and a very split push again comes in. Noob finds one, is not able to finish that voice line, continue that one out, and continue to find more value from it. Posturing aside, yeah, 4 members of RIT failed in that, or taken by that anti-grenade. ZP Link drops as well. Salmon and Skyfoes pair for 2 on this one. The defense, unsatisfied with their full composition, who is alive right now, comes back for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, even the fact that RIT gets a bunch of eliminations is not enough because it is assault. You need to be collected, right? It's got to be all 6 alive when you try and take the second point.
ZP Link have their work cut out for them on this one. Noob takes that nano boost as well. Obscure investing that one a little bit early, and now that's done. Rotating around, getting shots down there. Going to be facing against not 1 but 2 hit scans in Abyss and ZP Link. And Noob actually comes out alive with that one. Self-destruct to the back, forecasted well, so mostly used for the remake on this one. Samurai failed. Mischievous going to try to get to this one. Now the teleport in the back, Thigh Noon booped away, and there's the Death Blossom coming out. Tangerine not able to cover that one up. The self-destruct comes over the top, gonna land blocked away from Skyfoes, and RIT is all over this point right now.
And it is members falling for DePaul University as the Deadeye will come, or sorry, the Barrage will come in, but doesn't actually find a ton of values. I believe the Matrix was there to eat it.
Samurai coming up with the other DPS ultimate so far. Noobs is still alive on this one as well, as Mischief has kept that still in the game. The RIT really hasn't taken a whole lot of progress in the past like 20 seconds or so. A little bit more than a tick on this one as trades come through tank-wise. Zeth felled and Skyfo's done shortly thereafter. Noobs finding not 1 but 2. Tangerine as well, and DePaul University holds on strong.
The Curse of Assault The longer it takes you to commit a fight, to complete a fight, the more likely the defense will be able to return. And that is exactly what we see, Tugboat, as it is RIT getting just shy of half the objective. That being said, it is no longer possible to draw this map as DePaul head to their attack end. Their series hopes are on the line here. They need to complete the map to keep this series going.
Robots building robots, man, is the future.
Yeah.
Like you said, DePaul University holds on there, prevents the full 4 points. Now they have that 7 seconds is probably negligible here, but they did finish their assault with a little bit more time. So going to be looking at this next to come forth. Zeph on the ball, or Zafe, excuse me, on the ball. Okay, there we go. There we go. I agree with this a little bit more.
Wrecking Ball is not a bad pick. I just think there's more engaged potential with the Winston, especially because you have the Nano Boost target. And you don't always want to give it to Farah, so Zafe is a safer pick most of the time.
I can agree with it. Abyss. Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, tried to go for the charge over the... you have to jump. You have to jump to get over.
Oh, third time's the charm? Come back
Please
up
don't
to
try
it.
it as they're entering.
Deciding that they really, really want this positioning. And abandons it halfway through again. Abyss forced to turn the attention to the top. Healing field out from them as well. Kind of tracking Noob down pretty well as well. Now taking it to the easily more manageable high ground.
Just able to walk at this one. And now, I mean, here's the pocket we talked about, right? Jazzy on the Mercy. Giving Abyss a little bit more punching power at range. Right? Should be able to make it a little bit harder for Noob to kind of just get away with whatever they want to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, that splash damage getting exactly what they did want to accomplish. Now, stepping out for just a second, kind of seeing what there is in a 1-2 punch into Noob right there is RIT holding strong on the defense so far. This is, yeah, smart job. DePaul just on the full retreat. Don't want to give up any more ult charge.
Yeah, and I mean, they also don't want to give up the respawn timer either, right? At this point, that's a bigger deal.
Oh.
And RIT recognize that. They're going to try and hunt down these members, and they get one.
Nice sleep at the end. Obscure might have just purchased their life with this one. Yeah, no grenade to be spoken of. Tangerine takes nasty D-mech there at the end. I'm not sure if that's going to be a full, not going to be a full stagger on that, but DePaul University losing their Ana going to cost them a few more seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, now down to a few more seconds is time they do not have. And DePaul University are running out. 38 seconds left on the clock here as RIT looking to get this hold. Tactical visors available. Deadeye will be in a moment as well. So too is the Valkyrie. And I have to say, RIT just have the ability to slow this one down because DePaul University need to get in through the main play. And a Nano Boost on the Farah. You need to find an elimination with this for sure.
There you go. That's the first little bit. The Diva almost deleted as well. Is that... Yeah, that is Abyss. There he goes. Barrage over the top. Barely able to finish it and gets out. What is going on? Noob putting on a clinic on how to play the Pharah right now. Coming around, getting out the Soldier as well. Valkyrie invested here from J Jazzy. Rez comes in as well as the Samurai Kai as DePaul University still has a technical life in this one. Touches to reset the the overtime timer on this. Thynoon felled as well, so RIT fighting this one, self-destruct in the middle, not going to find anything there now just for remech onto Salmon. Now Zafe and the rest of DePaul University kind of collapsing in on this one. Skyfo's deleted. Noob does get taken out by Z-Link there towards the end, but I think DePaul University has found their way in.
Yes, they have it. There is no one available to come in for the cleanup. Samurai, now that they have space to work with, is able to come in with the combo. The full rotation of the cooldowns of the Echo to gain the value here. Now 27 seconds remaining. It's one fight. You have the minefield to section off the objective, then you have the duplicate as well, and self-destruct for even more HP. It's Thynoon trying to play this flank Deadeye. And I don't know. This has to be scouted. If this gets more than 2 eliminations, it's game over.
Yeah, it is. But DePaul University looking pretty much glowing entirely. Noob is one direct rocket away from another barrage. Obscure's thumbnail away from this. Oh man, finds Samurai. No copy available. Noob hits the ground, dies, and there goes the high noon, but not going to be enough. The Slep come through. Here comes the Rez as well. Copy coming in. Charge down, finds Skyfoes with it. Already has the Shatter as well. DePaul University so close to taking this one, but RIT comes back with an absolute vengeance. That is 45-8 that they got to. They needed 49.6. LaFawn Heartbreak Hotel has been checked into.
That is, sometimes you just have to recognize when it's just close, so close. Unfortunately, does not count in this game. Close is not close enough. And this, I mean, the final play was really just good tactical ability by the supports. Yet again, from RIT, who were a massive difference maker for this team. Noob gets taken out by the Baptiste, and without the Pharah taken down, you can only resurrect one. And unfortunately, it's just running out of time, running out of players, running out of resources. Credit to RIT for playing under pressure with a collected mentality, but you got to feel for DePaul, who fall to 0-5 at this point.
And come pretty close to taking up another map win as well and improving that unfortunate 1-12 ratio. Just again, speaking on paper, that falls to 1-15 now and 0-5 for DePaul University squad. RIT improves their record. They were the dead even. No 2-2 match win losses, 6-6 map wins losses. They improved that to 3-2 and 9-6 respectively between match score and their map score. We will be looking at an interview here in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you guys that in just a minute. And we are back. We are here, and we are live. We got It's Thigh Noon to come on in and give us a minute of their time after the game. Thigh Noon, you with us?
Yeah, what's up?
Not too much. Not too much. The RIT train is rolling. 3-0. That is going to improve you guys' record from 2-2 and 6-6, match score and map score wise, to an impressive and positive 3-2 and 9-6. So congratulations, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll get this interview underway. Your tag is It's Thigh Noon, and just real simply, I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask. Like, where'd this name come from?
Oh, I kind of just, my original name, I think my original name was Giant Bomber, and that was the name I had when I was like 7, and then I just wanted to do a pun, so I have a couple different account names. This is the one I play on the most. It's Thigh Noon.
I love it. I love it. And agreed, it is funny. LaFont and I could barely say it during cast without laughing, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question I have in regard is gonna turn very much away from the. You guys, as was stated, have a 9-6 scoreline in map. So when you win big. When you lose, it's a little bit the opposite. So is that something that your team's kind of struggling with? What's the story behind it?
Yeah, I would definitely say one big thing is we're a relatively new team. We've only had about 4 or 5 weeks of scrimming behind us, not that much. None of us have really played before with other people. Some of us are completely new to Overwatch, scrimming, and actual heavily competitive Overwatch. And I would say the other thing is definitely the mental of it of, dang, we lost the first map, and just you start to doubt yourself. And it's once we win the first map, we go, we're going to win it all. Once we go the first map and we lose that first map, we sort of get into the mindset of, we get into a bad mindset, basically.
That all or nothing mindset. I feel you. Yeah. So, yeah, just gotta ask. All right, T, are there any teams that your squad is really looking out for here? Any teams you're really looking forward to playing, or are not looking forward to playing?
Not that I know of. I know there's a small handful that we're definitely looking out for. I forgot the names of them because I'm not. I basically show up for scrims and I show up for tournaments, but I don't have the time to really deep dive into all the competitive stuff like I used to when I was coaching and playing on other teams. But yeah, I'm not too sure, honestly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I gotta say, a DPS player through and through. You show up, get the scrims, get the kills, and that's gonna be about it there. LaFawn?
Yeah, I guess final thought. You guys are compositionally anyway. We saw a lot of fragging potential from your supports. Talk to me about how your team revolves around sort of what's the role that each player kind of brings to the table, because we obviously saw the supports do a lot of work, but you guys also had a very aggressive showing with the tanks and the DPS. Is that something you guys kind of pride yourself on, just play as aggressively as possible, or is it more to try and temper it a little bit?
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a little bit of tempering going on. We don't really like to play absurdly traditional comps. I think there's maybe only been 2 rounds of the past 5 weeks of tournaments, scrims, other tournaments, stuff like that, where we've actually played traditional Brawl with May Cree. I know I've only played May in maybe 1 or 2 games, where we like to mix it up and find our own way of doing things. There are definitely people on the team who like doing their more creative route. And earlier today, I know Luke ZP Link said, as he said, all right, guys, I'm going on a flank. And the first thing I did was I unmuted myself and I said, no, that's my job. You're not doing that. And then he did it anyways. And we just have a lot of fun doing very unorthodox procedures in our scrims, I guess.
Main support going on your flank. Unorthodox indeed. Unorthodox indeed. And once again, I want to thank you for coming on in, give us a minute of your time and a slice of that brain after the game. Now, I want to ask if you have any shout outs here before we get you on out of here and get the next matchup here on stream.
Yeah, I'd definitely say shout out to the RIT Physics Society, physics major here, and just all of RIT esports. We have some really great admins and people I really enjoy hanging out with.
That you do. That you do. We will hear more from It's Thigh Noon and RIT later on this, but we will not have him back in the interview box unless they win, because we only have winners here in the interview box. It's Thigh Noon. I look forward to seeing you again, though. This is our University of Delaware taking on your William and Mary squad coming up here next. Now, we might have a little bit of a break. Yeah, that's scheduled for 7:10. So go ahead, gamers, get yourself some water, eat, maybe take a very, very, very quick nap. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, we'll be back here in 10 minutes with you guys for that William and Mary University of Delaware matchup.